Hello, this is Nicholas Tanek for your kinky friends, and we have a very unique episode tonight with my good friend, my good kinky friend, Mistress Cassidy Cream. Um, and she's been on the show, several times, and we're going to talk about a new project that she's working on, and this is just really going to just be kind of like a hangout episode. This is not a structured interview. It's just
Casual.
yeah, it's two friends talking. So
Yep.
please welcome the magnificent, our kinky friend, Mistress Cassidy Cream. Say hi.
Hi, buddy. I can't get an angle that works with my hair, Nick.
Oh God, okay. Let's just get in the hair with the quarantine. This thing's grown out. Look at this.
Right? Look at it.
Look.
Connecting with your younger rocker days.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I used to I have a bunch of I have a friend who cuts my hair, who comes to my house to cut my hair, and then I also have I could just walk up the street and go up to this little boutique. Can't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
I
Um,
got I got to see my top recently for the first time since quarantine started. It was magical, but that's beside the point. And that was like one of the first things I said to him. I was like, "You've had a haircut. I want to know who you know. Like how did you access that?"
so Miss Melissa, she really cuts, she cuts her own kid's hair, she cuts her own hair. Um, and she's not bad at it. She's so we were thinking of she never was like officially interviewed. She's been on the show, but she we were thinking of just me interviewing her as she's cutting my hair during quarantine.
That would be a cool episode. I saw some images on Fet recently of a top giving a bottom a haircut that was kind of hot and sexy. So like, yeah, you could totally do
Yeah,
this.
and she's like, "I'll wear a corset and everything."
Yeah. Is it going to be like a punishment or a reward though? Like, how would you spin it?
I don't know. It's a good question. It's a
Right
good
now,
question.
I hate getting haircuts because I hate holding still for that long. I have like I hate waiting for my nails to dry. I hate sitting still for the stylist. So it would be torture for me. But right about now, I am so desperate for it. I'm down for torture. Like, let's just get this done.
Yeah, yeah. We'll spin it somehow. We'll spin it. Um, and plus, I would interview her. You know what I mean?
That would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really funny. Um, okay, so for those who don't know, and they should, but for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Um, I'm Cassidy, and I'm desperately in need of a haircut, as we've established. I've been a professional dom since spring of 1999, and now for the past, I had started with OnlyFans back in December, and really love the forum, and I've never really focused on videos before when before in my dom work. For a long time while I was a dom, I was mostly in the closet, like not in the closet, but I wasn't completely out. I had you know family structure and what have you didn't allow me to be completely out in public, so I stayed away from videos and content and things like that, and now I'm in a position where I can do those things. And
What's really interesting about the whole quarantine situation is the fact that people are getting very creative. I was talking to my friend Genevieve, and she's now she's in first of all she's in New Orleans, so um, they were hit hard, and New Orleans is like a physical party town. You know what I
yeah,
mean? The music, the food, the whole king scene, everything like that. Now she's like, I got to do everything online now. And so people are getting very creative. And
hmm
we were talking about the documentary when last
hmm
time we were on the phone, right? Um,
hmm
so we'll talk more about that off camera, but
yeah,
yeah, if you have any ideas about that. So
I've
um,
several ideas. I have I like to think of three impossible things before breakfast. Is that the Lewis Carroll quote?
Oh,
All
okay, okay. So last time we spoke was like 2 weeks ago, or well, I spoke to you like a couple days ago, but
yeah,
like on the phone. But like last time we did a show,
two
was
weeks
about like
ago.
two
I
weeks
think I
ago.
had just gotten to the new place, and now I'm leaving the new place. So it must have been 3-ish weeks ago or so. I've been here for a month.
Something like that, yeah. So have you seen with OnlyFans and everything like that? Have you seen anything like very, very creative or just really kind of popular?
I follow so many cool creators. I really love to show support for other people in the industry. So I keep my eye out for new creators to follow. And I also, there's my own personal interest that I follow because I like their work. Um, and I've seen so many creative points of view and so many different approaches to content creating. Like I work with Mistress Gracie a lot. She is primarily lifestyle dom, but part-time professional. I guess she'd be okay with being identified as a part-time professional dom, and primarily a party coordinator. She's the one coordinating our Dahlia's birthday party. Anyways, Mistress Gracie has
Oh,
opened an OnlyFans, and she's putting out like her whole. So she has a large video collection from her personal play, and she's putting out like massive amounts of videos where you can see from start to finish, like negotiation, playtime, aftercare, the whole bit. And she's putting them out more or less. I think she does editing with some of them for look, but essentially unedited. And they're amazing to watch because you get to see the way people who have been in a long-term dynamic engage and play together. And I love her videos. And then I subscribe to Princess Dandy, of course. She's a friend of mine. She puts out like amazing content in her, she has a closed circle while on quarantine of people she's still engaging with because they're in-house people or what have you. So she's put out some amazing stuff. She did her birthday episode a couple days ago, smashing a cake with her ass. That was really hot. And some of
I
them,
know there's a lot of that, like these
one
days.
of the things I love about new creators is that they're not, I mean, they may be nervous about what they're putting out and they may be unsure, but they don't have ideas about what you can't do. So they just come up with stuff. You know what I mean? Like where
Mhm.
somebody who's been in the business for a long time might be a little bit shy about doing something that's off brand for them or not fitting with that. I've dealt with this recently myself. And where somebody new who hasn't established their brand yet, they're like, let's just throw this against the wall and see if it sticks.
Now, talking about creators of content, I mean, I've been doing this for years. I've interviewed hundreds of people, and you have an interesting idea. And I talked about it. I talked about it with Melissa and Luna, and they were like, "That's pretty great. That's a great idea." Um, so, tell us about this new project you're working on.
So I want to start doing some casual interview podcast things. This is not my area of expertise, so forgive me if I flub over terms that most people would know because it's not terms I know. I can tell you all about BDSM terms, but anyways, I want to start a casual, um, start with my friends and work my way out, of getting conversations. Loosely I'm calling it other passions. I'm going to work on that name because I don't love that name, but the things we're into that isn't kink. I mean, we'll still talk about kink and who we are in the scene, but like Dolly is really into astrology and spirituality, as am I. And having her on to talk about those kind of things, maybe have a guest astrologist on. um, for a long time when I was with Princess Gemini, we actually had an astrologist that was part of our workforce. Um, but anyways, and I have another friend who is, I'm not going to ID her by name because she has a vanilla life to protect right now. I have to talk to her before I start talking about her. But she's a personal chef, a vegan personal chef, and she's amazing. And I would love to have her on sharing that, but also sharing her place in the community and things like that. Um, to kind of flesh out that we're like, sometimes I disclose information about my personal life, and I get jaw drop, as if you can't be in the sex industry and you can't be attractive and sexual and also be intelligent and also have degrees and also have a family and also have things you care about and also used to run a farm, or whatever thing I might share with a person that shocks and awes them. So I'd like to just find a way to present the people that are in the community in a more as as comfortable as they're, as
That's
exposed as they're
great
willing to
because
share about their personal life.
one thing I love about that is that because like here on my show, it's generally about we talk about kink and fetishes and the lifestyle and stuff like that. We like tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow we're doing a whole special just on chastity. We're having a whole bunch of people come in. It's a panel episode. It's got Chastity
Um,
Queen and me. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We did
are
a
you doing
trans.
it live or just recorded?
What?
Will it be live?
Oh yeah, it's going to be live.
I'm going to try to
Tomorrow.
catch it live, but I don't know if I can because I'm going to be packing tomorrow.
All right, 12 noon Eastern. It's coming. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Oh, it's definitely yeah. And I I even have prop ready.
Nice. Yeah.
So but what's interesting about what you're trying to do is you're taking kinky people and you're talking about everyday life, and you're
Yes.
talking
That's what I'm hoping for.
yeah, so don't get me wrong. On my show, we talk about everyday life and stuff like that, but it's mainly focused on some kind of kink or fetish or so, or the lifestyle stuff like that. My music episodes were about like songs to make love to, and stuff like that. But what you're doing is going to be pretty interesting, and I cannot wait. And on top of that, I'm going to promote the hell out of it, and I'm going to get you guests. So
and we're going to let me interview you. That's what we're going to. I want to do that for my first episode. If you would do that with me,
I would love that. Oh my god, that'd be great.
I'll interview you.
Because I got a lot of like non-kink stuff in my life too that I can talk about.
Well, when we're off camera, we have such cool conversations, and every time, and I guess I've had that same kind of experience. Like, I didn't know you also fill in the blank, in the conversations we've had off camera. I won't say I was shocked, but I was, expanded what I knew of you.
Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life. And that makes it, and what's interesting about what you're trying to do is it will humanize it, so it won't be focused just on sex, kink, and fetishes and stuff like that, but you show like these people, and that's what I'm trying to do too, is even though there's a fun that the BDSM community is a little taboo, or could be really taboo.
A little bit of exclusivity to keep it. I don't want to sound elitist, but a little bit of exclusivity that keeps the bar set a little higher.
Yeah.
But also, we're still real people,
Yes, exactly. We have lives, we have families, we have jobs. We're all trying to get by. We're all
yeah.
doing that. So yeah,
there's something to be said. I don't know. Again, this might be my own experiences, but I also think there's something to be said how via being involved in the community, while it's not directly tied, I feel like my experiences in the community have given me the confidence, the capital, the wherewithal to pursue these other things that are interesting to me. Maybe in an alternative scenario, I wouldn't have been brave enough to try out these other things that I've tried out. You know what I mean?
Oh, I definitely know what you mean, and I want to talk about that more. Confidence, after kink. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that because my story. Lynn, had very, very low self-esteem when we were young. And like I said, I broke her heart. And then 15 years later, we got back together. And then
I'm not very much of it, but my story with my top kind of echoes that.
yeah, okay. And I like to say we put the bond in bondage. And once we got, we were switches, but once we got into femdom, her self esteem went through the roof,
Right?
and yeah, her not only her self esteem went through the roof, but because she had cancer, she had a pill problem. She was like abusing her oxycodone, and like femdom and being kinky kind of leveled it out. And then with me, not just her, but with me, there was a confidence, and I felt like I was walking on air. I felt like we were enlightened. You know what I mean? Like these other vanilla people, they're missing out. There are so many
Yeah.
people who are in like horrible marriages, horrible relationships, but no, here we are. You know we're doing the kinkiest stuff, and we're being completely honest with each other, and it made a whole difference in my life and how I approached everything.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to interrupt you for a second because I'm rude like that. And I was going to say, I don't use the word vanilla that way. Like, I think it's perfectly, there are plenty of vanilla people who still live interesting and rich lives and have
Good point.
good vanilla sex if that's what they're into. I use the term muggle, like from Harry Potter, muggles.
Oh, that's okay. That's
You
good.
can be in the scene. You can be part of the BDSM community, and you can be a muggle if you're an asshole. Like you're a muggle. I don't care what title you put on yourself, and you can be vanilla and be a muggle. But vanilla in my vocabulary, in my way of thinking, vanilla isn't inherently bad by itself. Being a muggle
That's
is bad
good
though.
point. Very, very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. What I was kind of referring to is that I have met so many, especially men and women too, who are in relationships, and they strive to be kinky and they just can't. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and because their partner doesn't want them to be. Like, for example, all I wanted when I was married, I don't know if I told you the story, I might have, but when I was married, you know, my birthday came up, and my ex-wife at the time was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I go, "All I want is you in a beautiful French maid outfit with garter belts, stockings, and heels. And you're not gonna have to clean. Basically, I will worship you." Right? You're not gonna. So my birthday comes up. My birthday comes up, and I get a digital camera, right? And I'm thinking about it. It cost about $200. The cheapest French maid outfit basically cost $10 in a Halloween store or something like that. So that's $190. She decided not to fuck me in a in a creative and fun way. All right. So Christmas comes around, right? Christmas comes around. She goes, "What do you want for Christmas?" I go, "All I want is you to be in a beautiful French maid outfit, garter belt, stockings, and everything, and I want to worship you." And she comes around. She's got this big box on Christmas, and I'm thinking, is this like a French maid kit? What's going on? Right, right. Open it up. It's a beautiful digital television. Beautiful. I still have it. Beautiful. And I'm thinking, all I wanted was just you to, like a Halloween store French maid outfit cost $10. So I'm doing the math, and I'm like, so this TV cost about $1,000. So she just spent $990 to not fuck me in a fun and creative, kinky way. And yeah, that was
But
one of the things.
can I flip that for you a little bit from a woman's
Okay.
point of view?
Okay.
Especially when it comes to those bottoms who want to worship, um if it makes if it makes the receiver uncomfortable, is it worshiping anymore? If like the French maid outfit just made her feel, instead of making her feel sexy and beautiful, it made her feel goofy, it made her feel funny, whatever. Um, you know what I mean? Like there was and I'm not saying that you were being too demanding. What I'm saying here is like, I hate the story, The Gift of the Magi. Why didn't you just talk about it? Why didn't she just say, I'm uncomfortable with this narrative, but I like the overall idea, or
But
I'm
see,
uncomfortable.
that's okay. That's the thing, though. In the relationship, right? In the relationship, we did have a slightly kinky relationship. She loved lingerie, and I have a very strong affinity for lingerie, and she liked dressing up in costumes and stuff like that. And it wasn't necessarily, when I say worship her, I wasn't. I meant it as in, I'm not gonna like make you clean and order you around and
Right.
stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of, maybe the emphasis was wrong, but
No,
that
I from from an observational point of view, I can totally see where you were going, and I can also imagine what might have been uncomfy for her.
and,
I've
oh
had I've had two significant relationships fail. I know a little bit about fucking those things up.
all right, let's talk. All right, we did sexy haircuts. All right. This is definitely something I want to talk about.
All right.
Instagram.
Yes.
You've been banned 3 times.
I'm on my third account. I've been banned twice.
You've been banned for what?
So my account is super conservative. It always has been. You know, I do occasionally post nude with censorship over it, like, you know, where you cannot see anything, and mostly I do that to protect my income. If I give the goods away, I don't get people wanting to pay for it. But anyways, my account, I think by any metric, is super conservative. It is an adult account, and whatever, but I don't I don't intentionally push hard on the rules. The first time my account was banned, I'm pretty certain. Remember, I just mentioned that, you know, I've got 2 failed relationships. I'm pretty sure the first time my account was targeted, and intentionally, because if you keep reporting stuff, it's all an algorithm. Instagram sees that this account's been flagged a dozen times, 2 dozen times. I don't know how many times it takes to bring it to their attention, and they just deleted my account. And that time it happened right before um, Mistress Lady X, which is a Dom down in Virginia Beach. She was hosting a welcome party for me when I first moved back to Virginia. It was so nice. But anyways, just as we were launching the promos for that party, my Insta account, which was my strongest account at the time with the most amount of followers, was disabled, and I lost all those followers. And 2 years later, yeah, 2 years later, I don't think I've reconnected with 10% of the people that I lost touch with that time. The second time around, I hadn't built up anywhere near as much of a following because I really wasn't as invested in it. But I did have the people I was connected with there were people that I don't know in real life, but I admire, respect, wish to work with, wish to network with, etc. And I lost that account right around Christmas time this year, if I remember correctly. I'm not quite sure what happened that time. I don't think that time was targeted because it's been 2 years and the initial anger has subsided, I suspect, on everybody's part and all that. So I don't think it was targeted this time around, but nonetheless, I lost it a second time. With any of the social network platforms, they're really not friendly to sex workers. They're not friendly to, and by that, I'm not entirely comfortable with IDing myself as a sex worker because that's not actually a service I provide. I tend to say adult entertainer, or, adult industry. But in any case, it's not just those of us who are working directly with clients or content creators. They're not terribly friendly to independent places that sell sex toys or places that sell lingerie and things like that. And they're not adult friendly spaces, even when we're doing our best to stay within community guidelines and follow their rules and all that.
Yeah, I've been put in Facebook jail, like a Twitter. Well, I wouldn't say Twitter jail, but I had some things
Yeah, so then your
deleted.
posts are getting seen. I wonder if that
People,
was happening when I wasn't seeing them before.
a
So
lot of
that
it, a lot of it is the nudity. Like I'm not showing myself nude. I'm be like, but a lot of my friends show themselves nude, or show some kind of nudity. You know what I mean? Like even when I do the banners, you
yeah.
know, it would when I do the banners for this show, some people send me some really wonderful pictures, but it's like you can see everything, and I'm like, this is gonna get shut down. Oh my
Yep,
god.
this is gonna get flagged, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate because really, if I do my best to protect my accounts from children, because I'm not trying to let children see my accounts, and I don't put, like I said, I don't post anything that's terribly graphic. I'm pretty conservative. Um, if an adult comes across my page and they have some moral objection to what I do, or they don't like my aesthetic, just don't follow me. It's really that
Yeah.
simple.
Oh, and that's another thing. Oh my god. So
Why don't you have other things to do with your time than to spend time, especially if it's not, listen, if it's violent, if it's hate speech, if it's inflammatory, I myself would report those things, but I'm not going to report somebody because they show more flesh than I'm comfortable seeing. I'm just not going to follow them.
it was I don't know if we talked about this when we were on the phone a couple days ago, but I interviewed Mistress Wildfire, who really specializes in cross dressing, and
Okay.
right. And at the end of the interview, at the end of the
Rude.
interview, I revealed that I was, because she said, like, you do something. So I revealed, because I wore a collar for the whole interview, and I revealed that I was wearing a negligee under my shirt, right? And because I wore a suit and everything like
Yeah,
that.
all
And
formal.
yeah, the whole thing was just to have fun. And yeah, so, we got some like really right wing Christian, and I'm not saying anything against religion or whatever, even though I got my issues with it, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, but after they were like, "This is disgusting. This is because that it was all the hashtags. It was like sissification,
Yeah. I,
lingerie, stuff like that, femdom, dominatrix, and and like this right wing person was like, this is disgusting. But you know what?
with those hashtags, follow intentionally following those hashtags so that they can see things to get angry about. Why would anybody do that? Life is short. Why do you intentionally look for things to get
I
angry
was
about?
thinking, yeah, the way I thought about it, yeah, that's one way to look at it. This is totally true.
I've stopped using hashtags for the most part. I still occasionally on Insta because I'm rebuilding my newest account there, but for the most part, I just stay away from them because you're right. It's probably they're following those tags so that they can find something to be upset about. That's such a waste of
Either
time.
that, either they're finding something to be upset about, which is very probably true, or they like the content.
Yeah, exactly. And then it made them feel, they enjoyed the content. They felt a little special in their special spots, and then they felt a lot of guilt. And now it's your
Yeah,
fault. You feel guilty about things they enjoy.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
why, for I've never engaged in forced buy scenes from a professional point of view, and I get requests for it constantly. And it has nothing to do with any moral objection to it. It's I am not going to have two men who are essentially strangers to me have their first homoerotic experience together in my space, and then when they're done enjoying it, turn their confused feelings on me. Does that make
Oh
you know
no,
what I
that
mean?
makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. That's why, like for example, like cross dressers, they purge. You know what I mean?
Yes, I've watched my clients do that time and time again.
Yeah, they purge. So, um, that's a good. I'm glad you brought that up. and I'm glad this is a very loose format and not a formal interview. Um, how do you deal with clients who feel that kind of guilt or anger afterwards, and like they did something that they feel like was against,
I,
or whatever?
I have been very fortunate and very, I suppose luck probably plays a role in it too. Um, I've, truth be told, I've never had a scene go horrifically wrong ever. I've had one client who, if they were to contact me, I probably would decline seeing them again. And I've had some clients that if they were to contact me, I might tack on an asshole tax for them before seeing them again, but not out and out refuse to see them. I mean, I don't necessarily get along with everyone. Like it's not always a good match, but it's never been a scary thing or a horrific match. Just maybe you
All
or
right,
I, we,
we got to back up. I got some questions here. I got some
yeah.
questions. First of all, um, without, of course, giving information about who the person was, what did that one client do that you would never see again? What did?
Okay, so I want to say it was a really long time ago. I was
Okay.
still rather new to it. There had been some misunderstanding in the before we met in person. There had been some misunderstanding about what I offered and what they were looking for. It didn't match well, and then I got flustered by that and wasn't able to pull it back myself. And again, inexperience. Um, I got flustered by the misunderstanding. It wasn't a huge misunderstanding, but a misunderstanding. And then I don't know. I was gonna do a different scene for them that we agreed would be a good compromise. And it turned out I didn't have a piece of equipment that I thought I had at my dungeon, and it just got a little bit messy and sloppy. And I'll own that it was as much my responsibility, maybe more than it was the other person's. And at some point, they got really upset with how flustered things were, and they took their wig and they flung it across the room, and they were like, "This is a mess," and you call yourself a professional. And yeah, so mostly I would decline seeing them again. It would be more out of my own embarrassment over where I was at that point, and
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, you should probably not throw a wig at me. I've never had that experience since, and I don't wish to. But it wasn't so much about them being threatening or grossly inappropriate or anything like that. They got upset, perhaps, you know, disproportionate, but I understood that they were upset, but they were a little disproportionate about it.
Okay. So, and now let's talk about asshole tax.
Yeah.
That,
Full tax would be added on to anyone who might call me babe when they're talking to me. I don't care for that.
especially if
I
you're
don't.
a sub, you don't call your
Right.
dominatrix
A lot
babe.
of a lot of my clients, for I am very selective with who I see, but also simultaneously, I'm very open to newcomers. I'm very open to people exploring and all of that. So some of my you know some of my clients probably aren't best identified as submissives. They want to try out that role, they want to see what it's like, but
Interesting.
they're not so much inclined to that, so they don't get how protocol works, they don't get what's expected. And terms like babe and hun and sweetie, my top calls me that, and that's it. Like, no other man is allowed to talk to me. I get that they're trying to be flattering, and especially after I've said it to you once, you can call me mistress and you can call me ma'am. If I've already said that to you once and you continue with that, you're getting an asshole tax the next time I see you. Um, I've had, and also people that are a little bit too demanding. It's your session, you're the client, so we're going to stay within your boundaries, of course, and we're going to stay within your limits, and we're going to hit on the things that you told me are your hot buttons and the things you most want to explore. But that doesn't mean you can come to me with a script and a laundry list and expect things to be checked off. And if you come with that approach, you're going to get an asshole tax the next time.
Now, is the asshole I just think that should be like a hashtag.
They'll get us in trouble. We can't use hashtags.
Yeah, I
You know,
know. But but is the asshole tax different for everyone, or is it just like a normal? Do you have a set thing? Like, oh, you owe another $100.
no, my rate is. I mean, we'll just brass tacks here. My baseline tribute is 250, and I do go up a little bit from there for special request, or if I have to, if I know in advance cleanup is going to be exceptionally difficult or something like that. So if you've annoyed me and you want to see me a second time, your second session might be in the 3 to 350 range as opposed to the 250 range.
Okay, now that
Or I
one.
might the discount that I offer to somebody else, or whatever. I mean, a lot of times returning clients, with returning clients who I love and enjoy, I'm just as inclined to cut them a break. If I'm going to see you twice a month and I enjoy your company, more than happy to take a little bit off of my rate to encourage you to come back that often.
Okay. Now, one thing that you said intrigued me, and well, everything you say intrigued me. But it's if you annoy me now as a professional dominatrix, what is one or two or three of the most annoying things that clients do?
So I've pretty much decided that I'm close to retiring, so I can go ahead and answer this
Wait,
question.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
I said, I've pretty much decided that I'm close to retiring, so I can go ahead and answer this question honestly without fear of repercussions.
Please do. This is all about honesty.
One of the biggest, Dolly and I were actually just talking about this earlier. One of the biggest pet peeves, and I feel like this is a thing that shouldn't need to be said, and yet it does. Clients that come in less than clean. Now, if you say, I'd like to see you, but it's the only time I have available is right after work, blah, 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 I'll say, you can use my shower when you get here. Most of the dungeons I've had over the years have had, a shower option, whatever. Um, but if we're getting together on a Saturday afternoon, and I know you didn't just come from the construction site, you should be freshly cleaned and polished and looking correct. And when I get close to you, I shouldn't have to breathe through my mouth to avoid smelling you. So that is my number one pet peeve. If you're not clean, that's a problem. Um, and another is um, not communicating well, not being clear in your and I get we all have different communication styles, and I'm pretty adept at translating those and hearing what you're saying even when you're nervous and things like that. But if you tell me you have all this experience with a thing and then it's very clear during the scene that you don't, or that this is more than you anticipated or whatever, that becomes tricky for me because now mid scene I'm forced to reevaluate what we're doing. Am I pushing too hard? Is it why isn't this what you expected? Why are you having such a struggle with it? So not communicating well. And then also people who, when they're told no, instead of accepting it graciously and just, we're not a good match or whatever, who turn and become insulting and rude for being told no. Like if you ask me if I provide services that I don't provide and I decline your session, you don't get to spin that around and call me a worthless whatever because I'm not willing to do this thing you want done.
Yeah,
Um,
that drives me crazy.
that happens a lot.
That
You contact me and ask me if I want to put your, whatever in my whatever, and I don't. Thank you, anyways. And now I'm a tramp, a slut, a whore because I'm not interested in doing these things for you.
that drives me crazy because there are so many different professional doms that you know, that like you could find it. You could find
Yeah,
someone to do it. It's like,
that's
you know, some
exactly.
want sadism, some
Everyone
want
wants
cross
to do it.
dressing. Yeah,
You know, someone that's what they offer.
yeah.
And if you were nice to me, I could even probably point you in the direction of somebody sometimes, depending on who
Yeah, yeah.
you
That's a
know.
great. No, seriously, that is a great way to approach it. Just be like, just be cordial. Just say that's not my thing, you know. And if they go,
Most
okay,
person on the planet, I don't ever get confrontational with these people that have no manners. I'm just like, oh, it's okay, sweetie. Bless your heart. I lived in the South for a little bit. I learned how to say bless your heart.
oh yeah, my Tangle Blue. Oh, Tangle Blue, I love you. Yeah, she's the one who taught me that bless your heart is kind of an insult in a way. Is it's like, oh dear, bless your heart. Like,
Right.
like I feel sorry for you. Okay, so when is this new project? And I'm very excited about this. And
I am too. I have this funny relationship with time. I don't think it really matters in my universe, but it turns out sometimes it does. So you and
I'm because of the coronavirus and the quarantine, I barely know what day it is anymore.
see that part, that's been my norm for a long time. You know, like even my vanilla life is very outside of mainstream. So, you know, days of the week bend to me, my schedule bends to me. I've been essentially self-employed almost all of my adult life. So time is always mine to bend how I see fit. But I always have this idea that I can fit more in a window than I can. So when you and I talked on Tuesday, I had excuse me, these high plans that I was going to when we did this interview tonight that I was going to say, "Oh, I've got the first episode ready and you can go to my thing and watch it." And yeah, that didn't happen. So tomorrow I am packing because we're going from this Airbnb to the next. I'm so excited about the next one. It's beautiful. Um, Tomorrow I'm packing, Sunday I'm driving, Monday I'm packing. I'm hoping on Tuesday that I'll be settled enough that I can, and that you'll be available and that we can do the first one. I'm not going to do it live. I don't think that's a good plan for me. I think recording it, editing it, and then putting it out after is
Yeah, everyone said my
right.
style is lo-fi punk rock live. You know, there's no
Mhm.
editing or anything like that,
If you
unless
talk about a movie, I'm going to say SLC Punk today just because of the whole punk rock talk the other day.
what?
If you ask me at the end of this interview to recommend a movie, I'm going to go with SLC Punk because I thought
Yeah,
of it.
it's a great movie. It's a great movie. The
Right?
sequel's not that good, but
I haven't seen the sequel. I had planned on it and somehow just didn't get
it's
to it.
it doesn't have Matthew Lillard in it, and
Love Matthew Lillard.
you know
Love
he's
him.
the soul of the movie.
Right, exactly. So if he's not in it, why bother?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's a fun movie. It's just nowhere near as it doesn't capture the beauty of the punk rock scene and the wildness of it
Right?
as it does. That's why it's called Punk's Dead. It's SLC two Punk's Dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, but SLT, ooh, I
Nice, right there.
told you.
Let's have movie night after this, and I think I'm gonna look and see where I can stream that from, and that's gonna be the movie tonight.
I think we get it on Amazon Prime.
Of
It's out
course.
there. It's out there. I'm sure it's free. I'll get. You know what? I can send you a link. You can
Sweet.
watch it for free.
Nice. Look at that.
So okay, all right. We're coming down to the end. Um, and we're gonna and trust me, Mistress Cassidy Cream and I are gonna do. We got a lot. We got some things in the works,
Cool
and
idea.
I cannot wait to work with her in the future.
I'm
And
so
we're gonna
excited.
have a lot of fun. And yeah.
I
So
can I say that about like since quarantine has happened, it has, I mean, among the other things, but it has given the opportunity for me, like so many people I've been wanting to, hoping to, whatever, work with, that their schedules were too busy, my schedules were too busy. Suddenly everybody's schedule is wide open. Like,
I know, that's great.
I've known Mistress Gracie for a couple few years now. I've been to parties that she's coordinated before, and I really like and respect her, but she maintains a busy lifestyle. I have a busy life, and we've never really connected beyond, a couple of cool conversations at parties and stuff. And her and I have been working together a lot through quarantine. She's helping me with a bunch of projects, and I gave her a little bit of help with setting up her OnlyFans. Um, this somewhat newbie Lydia Lamb, who's a content creator on OnlyFans, and she's in the New Hampshire crowd. I love her work, and her and I have gotten to talk a little bit, and looking forward to working with her when this is over. Um, and Ashley Fires is another one I've known of, and overlapping circles, but not necessarily the same circles. And now I'm getting to talk to her and whatever. It's been nice that the alpha toppy tops that I know have been able to, like, turn down their volume, turn down their schedules a little bit, and we've had time for each other in this
I
time.
know. I am booked like for the next 2 months. I am, and I
No,
love it. So, but before we end, before we
available
do,
on Tuesday. Is that a thing you can do?
I'm
This
sorry. What?
Oh, Wednesday you're gonna come to Dahlia's party, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I heard
yeah.
you already.
I already RSVP'd. I'm very
Oh,
excited about
Tuesday,
it.
we should make a time on Tuesday to do this interview for me. But if you're
Okay,
booked Tuesday, we can shoot for another day.
okay. We'll talk. We'll talk. Give me a call tomorrow. And all right. So we, when we're talking about content and people, I love weird and absurd stuff. I love like I love it. Have you seen anything that's really weird and absurd recently? It doesn't have to be kink related.
Hmm. I already told you the foot story. That would fit. I could tell you the rest of the foot story because you really only heard half of it.
All right,
So
tell us the rest.
that scene that I was talking about with foot instead of fist was not only a foot fully inserted in this woman's vagina, she was also simultaneously getting her nipples pierced while the dom at her bottom was working her foot in her, and the dom at her top was piercing her nipples and demanding she come, and she did on cue. It was the fucking hottest scene. But um yeah, aside from that scene, I don't know that I've seen anything terribly. I mean, I see so much unique stuff that it's almost mundane to see something unique.
I know.
You
What's
saw. Of
funny?
course, you saw something unique today.
What's interesting is what's interesting about kink and the BDSM community is that as the more you get entranced in it, like you're like, oh, that's not surprising. Whereas everybody else would be like,
Yeah, I
what?
did. You know what? Listen, it's totally a different angle on that question, but I did see something surprising recently. This time when my top and I got together, um, we created some content together for my OnlyFans, and I was blindfolded throughout most of it. I was blindfolded throughout all of the content creating portion of the day, and seeing myself bottoming was shock and awe for me. Like, I mean, we've played together many times, but I don't get the point of view of watching the scene. You know what I mean? I just experience the scene. And so, yeah, seeing myself in um, a bottom position was really like jaw dropping for me. And
Now, how does that make like? So there are a lot of people I've interviewed a lot of people, and they're like I had a great time during the interview, but I can't watch myself, and I feel the same way in certain ways. You know what I mean? So how does watching yourself
no,
on
listen,
video?
such an egomaniac. I really am terribly vain. I love watching myself. I will. Okay, so first I watched to critique. What did I forget to say? What did I miss? What did I? Ooh, is somebody going to misunderstand what I said there? That kind of thing. I watch for that, And then to ease up on myself, because I do hard critique myself, I watch it a second time to see what it was that I liked about what I did. Like, that looks great and that looks good, and you handled that question really well. I liked what you said there, and that kind of thing. Seeing myself bottom was a really um that's, like I said, that was the first time I had seen myself do that, and that was strange for me because I don't think of myself. I don't ID as a switch, and I don't think of myself as being submissive at all. Um, this is a unique dynamic that just very much works for me, and I find it. I don't know. It transcends like definition and language. Like it means so very much to me, and I don't not feel like a top when I'm engaged in it, but clearly I'm not because I saw the pictures and a top wouldn't do those things.
I know I know how you feel, but I for me I do watch the videos after they're done and stuff like that. But I'm more many times I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or oh my god, I look ugly, or oh my god, there was we did one video and it's totally it's a lost episode. It was a drinking episode. It was a happy hour episode,
Yeah.
and I got way too drunk.
Yeah.
And literally I fell asleep
I
in the
remember. Yeah.
but it was a drinking episode, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
Understand, but like not in a drinking episode.
yeah, and I made peace with everybody involved in the episode and everything like that. But it's watching yourself is crazy. One of the things, one of the I used to do, I used to tape, and it was totally consensual. Tape my have tape myself having sex with my girlfriend, whoever my girlfriend was at the time, and I was like, "Ooh, let's watch it." We even like hooked it up to the TV. It was one of those things. Remember those little cassettes
Yeah.
that you put in the thing, and and you hook it up to the TV, and I'm like, I'm not like, we don't have to like try to be sexy. This is not porn. I just want to see us
Just
fucking.
having.
And
I have I I don't want to I don't want to out anybody else that I've been involved with or whatever, but I have a collection of special moments with formers, and I enjoy watching them again. Like even if
really, from like how old did it go back? Without, you don't have to announce your age. You don't have to announce your age. Or anything like
so
that.
I had some stuff that I had some stuff that I had to destroy because although it was consensual, it was probably less than legal. Anyways, um, there's some video out there. I don't actually have this one, but there's video out there back in the days of VHS. I did some professional work with a partner of mine back in 94, 95 ish, and I would love to get my hands on that again. I would love to see myself at 23 and how fucking hot I looked. Um, and I'd call him up and ask him if he wants a copy of it too, because he was really hot then too. We were madly deeply in love, and it shows in the video, or at least it shows what I remember of the video. It shows, and
That's pretty interesting. Okay.
yeah,
All right. Oh my God. Mistress Cassidy Cream, what you call? Thank you very much. Um, you've been absolutely magnificent. Please take this time, as always, and we're gonna be on again, and we got to do a cooking episode.
we
We got
do love this idea. We're gonna
we got
do
to do a
that.
cooking. I can't wait to like it. It's
The next Airbnb I'm at is fucking amazing. I'm only at this one for 10 days. I wasn't able to get it for the whole month like I was hoping for, but it has this gorgeous gourmet kitchen that it makes me wet to consider what I might be getting. But we could totally do a quick cooking episode while I'm there. Like just
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
terribly complicated. We'll just do some because I don't want to. As much as I'm looking forward to cooking in the kitchen, I'm also planning on focus on content creating while I'm there because
Of
there's a lot
course, of course.
for.
And I will promote the hell out of you and promote the hell you're like, and I can't wait to be on your show and promote everybody else and get other people on your show.
Yeah,
I
I
love.
think this is going to be fun. I
Yeah,
think
oh
it's
my
going to be.
god. Yes, you're like we're a team now. We're
I'm
you're
gonna have to like get you in a conference call with Mistress Dahlia and with my top because they're for all practical purposes my business partners and help me to keep my brand straight and keep my image right and all of that. So you'll have to meet them and you would love them and they would love you.
oh god, yeah. And I can't wait for the birthday party.
Yes, I'm so excited about that. You're going to meet a lot of cool people. Hopefully, if
Oh
everybody
god.
gets
I,
reached out.
oh my it's gonna be great.
It
It's gonna be
is.
great. I already
And it's
RSVP'd.
the event that I've been at since Christmas time. Like typically my event pace had turned down since moving to Virginia because I'm just not as networked here as I was in New England. But when I was in New England, I was going to, in a month I might be at 15 parties and events, and I haven't been at anything since Christmas time.
I know.
No munches, no demos, nothing.
I have a huge Victorian house, right?
Yeah.
And it was like a commune. Like I go into one room and my friend Natalia's painting. Then I go into another room and Baron and his friends are hanging out and doing weird hypnosis stuff. And then I go into another room and then there's Luna like and Melissa crocheting and stuff like that. It was just like this wonderful artistic thing. I miss that so much. I so
I
miss
had I
that.
had similar to that at a point. Are you saying that ended because of quarantine? Like you just had that and it ended now?
Yeah, no, quarantine.
Gotcha. So that's what that was all put on pause. These aren't people that live in house, but just people that spend a lot of
No,
time.
no, they just like came over here to hang out. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was just fun. It wasn't like a party; it was more like a hangout space, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, and I miss that so much. So, okay, let's wrap up. Um,
Okay.
Mistress Cassidy Cream, please take this time to promote everything and anything you want to promote. Any links, social media, Twitter, Instagram, which
Yeah.
bans people for bullshit reasons. Facebook, Fat Life, all that stuff. Even though it's all on your page that we
Yeah.
made, feel free to say it. Go.
Okay. So the best place to follow me, where you're going to see the most rounded out, interactive, best content is to follow my OnlyFans. And I'm going to do the same thing I did after our last interview. I'm going to retweet your tweet and I'm going to tag on 10 or 20 free follows for your fans to come check out my page because the first one's on me and then you're hooked for life. But come check out my OnlyFans, which is onlyfans.com/Cassidy Cream. And the links will be with all the tweets and instas and all that. I'll put the links on them. On FetLife, my screen name on FetLife is Mistress Cassidy. On Instagram now it's Cream Cassidy because I don't know, somehow that's how it ended up. But and my blog is amusing. My blog name is too long and I always forget what it is, but the link is in the bio too. Mistress Gracie is working on my website for me now, so in the next couple weeks, maybe a month, as soon as I get her the information, she'll get it put together for me, and that's CassidyCream.com. But right now it's empty. Anyways, OnlyFans is definitely the place to follow me through first because again, you're going to see all the things I'm doing. I'll always put links to spin-off projects on there. um, Hopefully within a week there'll be a link to my YouTube channel because I'll get this going. Um, and I think you're going to have the most fun following me on OnlyFans. I love engaging there. It's really, you know, the it's so much more intimate than fat and any other forum that I'm on, because in any of those other spaces, I'm being mindful of not giving mixed messages to, like Fat Life is primarily a spot you go to meet people, to hook up, and to meet people for events and all that. It's not necessarily a place to promote. I mean, we do use it to promote our adult work, but it's not necessarily geared for that. You know what I mean? So I tone down when I put on fat so people don't misunderstand what I'm offering. On OnlyFans, I don't have to do that. On OnlyFans, I can engage in whatever I want, however I want. You know that I'm not offering it to you. I'm just inviting you to watch. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
put out a lot of cool content recently, and I'm having so much fun making it. Like that's what I love most about it. Is I've really reconnected. I've always enjoyed the scene. I've always enjoyed what I do, but this level of enthusiasm I don't think I've experienced in the past 5 to 10 years. It's really just kicked up the volume for me. And I get up every day, and this is what I get to do. Like, how lucky am I? How fortunate am I? And I look forward to it.
Wonderful. And you produce some great content. You are a magnificent person. I love you. You're a dear friend. Um, check out yourkinkyfriends.com. Check out at Nicholas Tanek. Check out at Nick Tanek. Check out at Friends Kinky on both Instagram and Twitter. And oh my God, it's getting late, my friends. My Dom is calling me. Remember the cardinal rule. First of all, don't waste a Dom's time
Don't be smelly.
and support professional Doms either online or in person. But the cardinal rule is be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. Take care.
Thank you.